Thank you. Thank you. Everyone give it up for Abby for a great show. As always, Abby. Is the suit too much? Do y'all think the suit's too much? No? You like it? Good, good. I'm glad. Sometimes, people see me and I'm dressed up like this, and they're like, man, David, you dress so nice. Like, you got some money or something? You're always looking so good. And they think like I'm a day trader or something like that. Like I'm always got some money. I mean, truth is, if you saw my wallet, you'd not think day trader, you'd think more like Day Trader Joe. Abby, introduced me. My name is David Lesneski. I'm Mexican, if you couldn't tell by the last name. I get it. Don't worry about it. I get it. I don't exactly project Latino or Mexican. Like the image for that right now is kind of Bad Bunny, and I'm more like Mild Rabbit. I love being Mexican, though. I won't lie. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. I'm not exactly the best Mexican, though. Just not the best Mexican. Let me give you an example. My mother, her maiden name is Tejada. T-E-J-E. Oh God, I can't spell Tejada right now. T-E-J-A-D-A. And for 27 of the 32 years of my life, we've been pronouncing it Tejada. And you may think, okay, maybe they Americanized it, that makes sense then. Except when you find out that her mother's married name is Escamilla, and they've been pronouncing that right for the last 65 plus years. So there's a little disconnect right there. Love being Mexican, just not the best Mexican though. My family, we owned a Mexican restaurant for 65 years. Thank you. We sold it. We owned it for 65 years, and when I was a kid, my dad, he'd pick me up from school, and he'd be like, David, what kind of Mexican food do you want today? Because he'd take me to the restaurant, because he's got to work there and everything. And I'd be like, Dad, I really want Taco Bell. And people would be like, David, how could you like Taco Bell? That's sacrilege. You're Mexican. You can have the real thing, Why would you even consider Taco Bell? Here's the thing, folks. Taco Bell is not Mexican food. It's just not. If you want commercialized Mexican food that has just as good a chance of giving you diarrhea as if you would go to like a taco truck or something like that, you got to go to Chipotle. They've got birds flying around in there. You're going to get sick from something. Trust me. Love being Mexican, just not the best Mexican though. Another example, I grew up in this place called Grosse Ile. Now, I'm from east side of the state, from this place called Grosse Ile, and it's this little dingleberry of an island. It's right between Michigan and Canada, where they literally factory produce white people.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So I kind of grew up with this false identity of myself. I grew up thinking I've got white male privilege when I've really just got male privilege. Let me give you an example of that. So this is true. The tags on my truck have been expired for 2 years. Thank you. They've been expired for 2 years. I've been pulled over twice and nothing has happened to me. I got, cop comes over, he's license and registration. He's looking it over okay, Lesneski. All right, you can be on your way, sir, go ahead. It's getting to the point where I want to test to see how far I can take this. Maybe I'll go to a bank and try to apply for a loan to get a house. I'm just joking about that, though, because I can't afford a house. Not in this market, anyway. Yeah, I love being Mexican, just not the best Mexican. Even in comedy, my comedic idols were not the Latin or Mexican comedians people know, I grew up watching guys like George Carlin, Chris Rock, Louis Black. My favorite comedian right now is Neil Brennan. I like how he can kind of bring the trauma and the funny and then wrap it up in a way that makes you think oh, he went to therapy. So, comedians like George Lopez, I don't really relate to. He grew up in LA, very different than Grosse Ile. Gabriel Iglesias, big fluffy comedian. I like Taco Bell, but just not that much apparently. And because my Spanish is trash, I'm not even like Felipe Esparza, where I can kind of go between the two languages like that. The closest I really get is Louis C.K., who, like myself, people don't realize or know is a Mexican comedian. The biggest difference between he and I is this: I'm more of a private masturbator. And a Grammy, apparently, but fuck Louis C.K. Thank you. So this whole thing kind of gave me this bit of identity crisis kind of thing. So my friends, they try and help me out, and they say, David, take a 23andMe, see what your actual genealogy is. That way you can kind of put that to rest. And I don't trust a 23andMe, and I'll tell you why. They do 23andMe's, but they also can do 23andMe for dogs. This is a true thing. You can actually look this up. You can do a 23andMe for your dog to find out what kind of breed that is. And I know it's a scam because even the people who do it don't trust the science between this. We just had Easter. I was talking with some family. My cousin did this to her dog. She did it twice. Which, if you love your dog that much, okay, do it once. But then if you don't even trust the science between it, you're doing it twice. It's the biggest scam ever, and I want to get in on it though. What we would do a Maury Povich style show since he's he's retiring now. I'll take his time slot. But we've got the dog owner, the dog, and the breeder there, and I'll be the host and be like, this is Stella. She's a purebred of 3 years old, at least that's what she was told by the owner. And then we got the whole little montage of the owner playing with Stella, and she's like, oh my God, I love my dog so much, I spent so much money on it. And then we bring out the breeder who's every other guy that's been on Maury Povich, who's just yeah, the dog's legit, it's legit, you got it, it's 100%, mine or whatever. And then we got the envelope, we open up the results, and we say, Stella, you are a purebred. It's a happy episode of Maury, folks. I want a happy episode. So, whole identity crisis type of thing. I went to therapy and everything kind of resolved some of this stuff. And I think the real thing is that a lot of people, they see the Mexican party, but they don't really see me. So I'm gonna just tell you a little quick tangent real quick. So I am Mexican. Dad's Polish, mom's Mexican, that's how you get this. Truth is though, I'm actually adopted from Mexico. So when I'd go out with my family, people would be like, oh man, look so much like your folks, and they tell that to me and my siblings. And we just kind of laugh because we're like, haha, you don't really know. And people see what they want to see. And here's the other twist on that story though, folks. So my siblings and I, we didn't grow up together either. I grew up in Michigan here, and with my brother and my sisters, they grew up in DC. And when we're out, people will be like, oh man, it's been nice to grow up with brothers and sisters like that. And we kind of laugh just because we know that they don't know, because people see what they want to see. And here's the final twist on the story, folks. We're all adopted from different countries. So I'm from Mexico, like I said. My oldest sister, she's from Colombia, and my youngest brother and youngest sister, they're from Guatemala, and they're actually biologically related. Guess who the weird ones are in the family? So when you see a bunch of Latin people together, and they say, oh man, it must have been cool to grow up in a big Mexican family. Don't say that, that's a little bit racist. The only time you can really get away with that is if you're in front of a Home Depot. But here's the real joke though, folks. We all see what we want to see. Because at the end of the day, my brothers and my sisters and my mother and my father, they see their brother and their son. And I see my family. And I'm finally starting to see myself now too. See, I told you I'd wrap it up in a way that makes me think it looked like therapy. Went to therapy.